Hey, patrons and supporters of IR4, thank you so much for watching this January 6, 2018 cryptocurrency update. I want to give a shout out to our recent patrons, Stuart Weishart, thanks for signing up, man. Troy Beinhauer, you are amazing. Patrick Sleven, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but thanks for joining up. And of course, Tyler Hirsch, thanks, man. Much appreciated. Adam Farragales, good shout out to you as well. Jesse Levan, Brian Weber, Jason Smith, Zane McGee, just some of our long-stouted patrons. I'm very happy to wake up today and see an amazing move on Litecoin. Not that I'm shocked. Remember, and some of you know this, some of you may or may not, but this is the candlestick chart on Litecoin. And these candlestick charts really are going to help just give phenomenal insight into what people are thinking and where they're thinking it. And you had this ginormous white candle right here, which is going to act as a little bit of a support. You had the 50. So as I mentioned last week and a few days prior, I mean, this $219, $220 level, this is a great spot to start adding to some of your positions. And it's fantastic to see it up 16%. In this particular structure, I see Litecoin doing something like this. Nice good little move, a little bit of a pullback down to about 258, and then probably a continuation back up to 353. So I don't really see it from here doing anything other than that. But once it gets back up to 353, you know, time will tell. Is it going to rotate back down and give you another buying opportunity? Possibly. And that right depends on how big your positions are and how much you added down here at 219. I didn't add much to Litecoin down here, pretty small position. So I still got Litecoin. It's one of my smaller holdings. I say smaller. I'll share all of the coins I'm holding as of today, but Litecoin, do have Litecoin, not a huge position, but 353.17 would look like a pretty reasonable target. A lot of you have been asking for my targets on these cryptos. Troy Beinhauer messaged me and asked me about where do I see some of these going. It's hard to determine exactly how high these go, honestly, folks. I really, truly do not know. Fibs do work. And if you want me to use some of the Fibonacci analysis that I got, I mean, looking at Litecoin, you know, we saw with the Sean Bennett episode on IR4 that this could go to 1,000. That makes sense to me. 524, 784, 13. You know, once Litecoin breaks the 353 mark and really closes above there, it'll continue higher. I could easily see Litecoin doubling, tripling this year. I mean, that makes sense just in respect to what cryptocurrencies have been doing. Big Daddy Bitcoin waking up yesterday, and also not surprising, a lot of you picking up some Bitcoin down here at the 50, right? Buy low, sell high. So what we're experiencing today is a small pullback on Bitcoin, which is allowing a lot of the alts to continue higher. Obviously, Bitcoin, one of my bigger positions. And I love to see it bounce off of that 50. I added a nice chunk down here, about an entire Bitcoin right on the 50, and got a pretty nice resistance right about there at 15 and some change. So the fact that we broke above there is massive. I personally think we could see Bitcoin breaking 20,000 in 2 to 3 weeks, potentially. All right, it doesn't have to, of course, but it makes sense. And if that happens, if and when we break 20,000, folks, who the hell knows where this thing's going? 30,000 easy, 40,000, which was my call in late November when Bitcoin was right around 10. This is when I mentioned it was going to go to 40, right around there, and so that's just a matter of time. And I think at this point, this was the correction. Right, this is the buying opportunity. I hope a lot of you picked up some down there on Bitcoin as well. I definitely did. And yeah, if we break 20,000, which I expect to truly happen in the next 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, Bitcoin's going to keep crushing it. Ethereum, big moves recently. Loving this action. This is my biggest holding as far as just monetary value, but Bitcoin's actually very close behind now with this recent dip. So I think it goes Ethereum, followed very closely by Bitcoin. So Ethereum, inside day candle so far, very nice breakout, a lot of volume coming in, and expecting at this point something like this to occur. I don't know for sure if it will, but if Bitcoin really starts cranking it out, Usually the flow is when Bitcoin goes higher, a lot of the other altcoins pull back some. So we could see kind of that happening and figuring out what the plan is from there. But if Ethereum pulls back, I would assume Bitcoin's probably going to be going higher. But my targets on Ethereum, I'm going to try to hold my position until 3,000. Which is again tripling from where it is now. That would be pretty cool. But that's all I got on Ethereum. I mean, the trend is insanely bullish. You had plenty of opportunities to buy the dip back in December and buy into this weakness around here. And I know a lot of you who did. So now the other holdings that I'm holding right now. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. I have EOS XBT as of today. Or not today, as of what day was this? Right here, yesterday, 1/5. So buying on the dip on EOS XBT, and some pretty gnarly bearish moves yesterday on this one. It was moving like 20%, but pulling into the 50. So EOS XBT is a new holding of mine. Really just based on the chart. I really like the chart based on the volume. A lot of volume coming in down here. And obviously a lot of people are excited about EOS, what it might do. And EOS itself has to go higher, mathematically speaking, than Bitcoin. And if it can do that, then the EOS XBT currency pair will continue higher. But that is just a nice little churner and burner. Probably a wait, here's the weekly chart on it. It'll probably take 2-3 weeks for it to eventually climb up higher. But, got to be patient, right? Back over to Litecoin. Speaking of patience, I got a few messages when Litecoin was down here with people, worried and upset. They're like, oh, all these other coins are going higher. Why isn't Litecoin going higher? Guys, it took like a week. It took 7 calendar days. What are you doing with your lives over there? You just calm down, take a breath, to get, what is that, 35% return in 4 days, whatever it is, that's unheard of. So take a deep breath, be patient. It takes time, right? Have your orders in, buy the dips, be calm, be patient, add into weakness, buy low, sell high, all the good parables of trading, and let the coins come to you over time. I personally believe 2018 will still continue to be a very strong year in cryptos. And anyway, just saying that with Litecoin, nothing goes up forever. So when this huge move came in, right, all of this was very, very reasonable. All of this was the dip buying opportunity, and then you're getting paid off today. So you got to be patient. You got to buy low, sell high. Even in cryptos, even in this world, some things can take more than a month for you to get 20% return or higher. So Litecoin doing good. And then my other last position is XBT XRP. Sorry. XRP XBT, which is Kraken. Kraken. I'm sorry, not Kraken. It's on Kraken. That's the exchange, but it's Ripple Bitcoin. XBT is Bitcoin. And this one is traded to a really nice resistance of mine. Here's the beautiful, beautiful resistance right there. And then it sold off. So not really shocking. Nice little move here right into that resistance. And this right here is a consolidation. This was the sell-off that Coinbase, when they said, we're not adding any new altcoins. Everyone thought it was going to add Ripple. That was kind of the sell-off effect from that. Do I still think that XRB, XBT goes higher? I do. Mostly because Ripple itself, if we look at Ripple US dollar over here on Kraken, I mean, look at this trend, right? It's an unfightable trend. I got in real heavy back here, very, very heavy on Ripple. Made about $20,000 on this move right there on Ripple. It's a very, very good move. And overall, I mean, the trend is magnificent. We haven't even hit the 20 EMA yet. So my overall thought on this one is let the trend keep doing its thing. I think it'll keep pressing it higher. Even if Ripple doesn't get added on Coinbase, I think it's going to go up into the 4s. A lot of people are calling it for the 10s, but I mean, this trend has just begun. So if Ripple can continue higher as opposed to Bitcoin continuing higher, then XRP, XBT will also increase. And then last but not least, Stellar Lumens, XLM, XBT on Kraken, and that was the pullback. So this was it. We pulled back a little bit, not a massive amount, but we did. And I had a lot of traders asking about where to get in on Stellar, and I mentioned the 10 EMA. That was the pullback right there on Stellar Lumens. In fact, if we hop over to, let me just bring over the Patreon page. Here we go. Had a few different posts on this one, but Stellar Lumens, this is actually its biggest holdings. And by the way, thanks for the kind comments. You guys really liked this episode. Had fun making it. Let me just scroll down, and here's the post, January 1st, Stellar Lumens. So if you come click on this post, you'll get this little chart pulled up. And, kind of mentioning and drawing in here where I wanted this thing to buy. We press the play button. We'll notice that we really just kind of, that's weird. I wonder why the play button's not updating. Must be because it's on a weekly chart. That is correct. That's why. It'll update later. But if you scroll back down here, this was kind of my post. I'll set this to buy this pullback if it fills, which was 4403. In any case, just kind of mentioning, buy the dip, right? Strong breakout, huge, massive move. Made a lot of good money on Stellar. And the pullback has occurred. So, yeah, if you bought the dip, congrats. Let it chop around here for a little bit. But this thing making new highs with new volume, I also expect to continue higher. But those are all of my positions personally. Other than that, as far as any other coins you guys want me to review, feel free to post on our Patreon page, and I'll be happy to check some of those out next week. There's thousands and thousands of them out there. I am by no means trading all of them. You can't trade all of them. I don't expect you to trade all of them. Just enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy what's happening. Congrats if you're making money in the crypto space right now. And just do a lot of research and figure out why you're making money. And what I mean by that is try to determine, are you trying to do this to make more US dollars? Or are you trying to do this to make and to create more Bitcoin? Which at this point is kind of what I'm working on, is just trying to create more and more Bitcoin. Because the granddaddy of them all, think about it, and let's say in 10 years from now, whatever Bitcoin's being valued at, it doesn't really matter, but let's just say it's a million per Bitcoin. That inflation and the growth of that, and as compared to how much you might have, could be an incredible thing. So accumulation could be pretty key here. Many of you do not know that this is a case, so this is something you can do, but you are able to lend your coins. So once you begin owning enough of them, at some point in the future, you will be able to lend them out to other people who need or want them, and you will get paid an interest on that, just like becoming your own bank, right? So this decentralized currency, there's a lot of implications here, and you could become your own bank in a sense, where you have the money, you have the currency, you have the utility tokens, and you can lend those out for an interest, for a percentage gain in the future when you have enough to those who readily need it. And obviously right now that's not a thing that is required at the present moment, but who knows, right? It's very speculative at this point, but a decade from now, who knows what's possible? And that's kind of what the IR4 podcast is about. We're going to keep you guys posted on what the future looks like as quickly as we can. All right, folks, thanks so much for tuning in. Enjoy your weekend. Congrats to those who were up big this last week. If you didn't make money in crypto this last week, you're doing something wrong. You guys rock. I'll see you later. And love, live, learn. Next week, new podcast with Matt DeLong. You guys are amazing.